What's up, Adam?
What's up? What's going on?
I said, good job.
Oh, I thought you said what's up. We have
No.
wait 2 more minutes just to make it an even 10 after, and we'll get started. See if anybody else shows.
Thank you so much for putting the link directly in the announcement. That was very helpful.
Yay, AT&T is supposed to be out tomorrow morning. So when FBL cut the lines, the power lines, they had knocked the AT&T line and it was laying on the ground. So my landlord was like, "Hey, can you like just kind of pin that up a little bit so people don't run it over when they go through the drive?" And they said, "Sure." So they put it up there and they pinned it and they pinched the fiber line or something, broke
We
it.
just shot right through it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, it's probably stapled right through the line.
That'd be my guess.
Yeah, so I'm like, you should have left it, man. Running over it probably would have been fine.
I mean, it's what you asked for. You know?
Yeah, the landlord was like, no, landlord asked FPL to do it.
Yeah.
And sure, they're like, sure. And I got home. He asked them while I was gone. I got home and I was like, hey, internet's not working anymore. He's like, it was working when I got here. Like, told him to pin it up there. It's like, yeah, shouldn't have did that. They didn't even pin it high enough. The garbage trucks were still hitting the line.
We got time.
Okay. All right. All right, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Link is in the meeting agenda and also in the announcement. All attendees, if you're not speaking, please mute your microphone for all online attendees. That way, there's no crazy feedback, crosstalk. Same here. You guys know the routine. When you guys talk, they usually can't hear anything if we're talking over each other. So let's keep if you have a question, just raise your hand and I'll get to you. Head count. If everybody can go to l.familab.org/sign in and sign in real quick, just let us know that you were here today for this meeting so that we can get a head count. That would be much appreciated. Link is also in the agenda. And we'll just move right into financials. So we're at a total of 65 full paying members, 15 special cases. We're actually 2 down from last month. But I mean, it happens. It's not that big of a deal considering we've been going up every month. So now we kind of took a little bit of a hit. But we'll get there as long as we continue to do all the things we need to do, like workshops, classes, and things like that. Hopefully these storms will stop so that we can get back to that. But yeah, so it's not, don't be too discouraged by the 2 negatives. It's, one person moved away, one person decided to go. So it is what it is. So the P&L for September is we're down 323 year to date. Again, don't be discouraged by this. I think 100 of that is actually something that should be spent out over the year, right? Because it was for the
It was a software fee for $100.
yeah, that was for the credits for Amazon. So we pay $100, but then we get like $2,000 worth of credits or something like that. So yeah, so even being down -300 is a lot better than what we were previously. And again, more bills are getting paid now. So there's there's that. Expenses had just gone up. Board's taking care of more stuff than it used to in terms of money. So yeah. So year to date we're -2,000. Really not that bad. We would have been way off of that. We're we're guessing about negative 3,000 by the time we get to the end of the year, if we don't get some real increase in memberships. So moving on, house cleaning, the AC in the FamiLAB is still not working. The AC guys did come out and repair a part, and they didn't really tell him anything. They just did stuff and left. So I don't know if they replaced the part or just refilled it, but it only lasted for a few days again. So I got to get with the landlord on that. I haven't yet because of all the storms going on. So we'll get to it shortly. But again, just now, if you're running the laser, make sure you leave the lobby door open. Just crank this AC so that the laser can get cooling. It would also be a good idea to add a fan, so it's blowing air into the FamiLAB, because again, that's how the AC cools. That's how the laser cools itself, is through the AC. So we want to make sure that you run it too hot, it gets screwed up quicker. The tube goes bad quicker, and that's a big expense. So plus, it's just miserable in there when you're trying to 3D print one out without any kind of air. If you're 3D printing, I wouldn't advise putting the fan in there, though, because you blow the fan on the 3D printer and it's going to screw up your temperatures. Anyway, moving on. Workshops, open houses, etc. Going to be back on the calendar shortly. We removed everything this week other than the meeting because of the storms. Well, last week, I'm sorry. This week, I think do we have anything this week?
It's current. Tomorrow is the Eileen stitching, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever.
Okay.
So it's all back on. So everything's current.
Okay, so everything's back up to date on there. So go ahead and check the calendar for the events and let us know if you see anything wonky or you want to add anything, so on and so forth. Amazon wish list, just like before, there is an Amazon wish list. Those are for things for the lab, upgrades to tools, just things that we need for the lab or want for the lab. And that's because sometimes people don't want to donate cash or have the time to go out and buy something. You just order it on Amazon. My address is in there. It'll get sent straight to me. I got ways of getting packages when I'm not home too, so there's no worries there for security. So yeah, if you want to donate anything, Amazon's a good way of doing it. We are going to hold another cleanup event, the second, which is basically right before Maker Faire. Is it the weekend before Maker Faire?
It would be the weekend before.
Okay, so the weekend before Maker Faire, and that's kind of tidy up the place a little bit more. It's not bad, but we just kind of want to organize it, tidy it up a little bit more, because there was talk of like an after party after Maker Faire. So I think we should still do that. I plan on coming to hang out for a little bit. So yeah, if we clean it up, make it look nice, talk about it maybe at Maker Faire, we get some people to show up, and maybe we'll gain some more membership from it. But we want to look clean and organized, whether we are or not. Next, speaking of which, Maker Faire, it's less than 30 days away. Mike's going to present something for us for Maker Faire. November 9th and 10th, so that's Saturday and Sunday. There's actually a bonus thing that we're doing with Maker Faire. They're having a teaching, a learning thing for kids on Friday. So basically what we're going to do is we're actually going to go and set up Thursday. So we're going to change a couple things around on the form, the volunteer form. But basically we're going Thursday to set up, and then Friday we'll be there for a little bit just to talk to the people about, to the kids and whatnot, about maker spaces and whatnot, because the Maker Faire is doing a teaching thing, a learning thing, but then they're going to kind of take them around the booths and we get to talk to them. So Ian just asked me about that the other day, and Justin and I figured at the very least we could be there, so we agreed to it. But we still really need people to help volunteer for it. We don't have very many signups at all. I know a couple people have told me that they'll probably help, but not really going to count you unless you sign up on the form. So if you want to help out, again, all you really have to do is stand there, talk about Maker Spaces and FamiLAB, and just talk about all the stuff that we have here, all the stuff you can make. Super easy, hand them a flyer. It's really about it. I think Kristen was still going to have she not on? I think Kristen was still going to have a booth that we will help man if she needs it. It's for the vinyl cutter. I think that's potential. But that's the only other booth we have right now. So I think it might be a little bit late now to try and sign up for another booth. Mike, you think?
Depends on how cool it is.
Okay. So depending on how cool your booth is, you might want to try and sign up. Then we can add it to the FamiLAB situation. Kind of have them all together.
Do we want to reach out to some of our members and ask them directly? Sorry, Eileen raised her hand too.
Oh yeah, Eileen's her helper training is gonna be there too. That's probably what she's gonna talk about.
So is it a touring booth or buddy booth? Did Ian say how many kids they're expecting? I haven't had a chance to read emails. I've been cleaning the hurricane stuff and a lot going on. Did they say how many kids they're expecting that night? Like we're set up to be neighboring booths with you guys, but
Yeah,
the Steam Pinks and Opportunity both. So that's two separate folks that I can talk to about.
Yeah, no, he did not. I can get that from him and get back to you and see.
Okay.
I think it's they just set up and do you know anything about it, Mike? Okay. I think it's something they just set up and we're just starting. I think they're still working on getting
It's probably,
Huh?
it's probably brand new.
Yeah, it's brand new. It's not. I mean, he just called me about it the other day. So.
Okay, yeah, just keep me posted or send me a text, just and I'll see what I can do about it.
Okay. What were we talking about before? You
Maker
asked
Fair volunteers?
Maker Fair volunteer. What about it?
You don't have many?
Yeah, we need people to sign up. No, you asked a question. I thought.
Oh, yes. Should we reach out? Like, we have some really amazing members. I don't know why some of them are more apprehensive to show off some of what they've made. I don't know if we should poke and prod them a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've reached out to a couple, as the board has, but if you can think of any others, let us know, and we can reach out to them and see. I plan on poking a couple people that helped last year. They helped a little bit during last year, so I'll reach out to them. But yeah, I think I don't know. I think a lot of it's everybody's been busy lately. I mean, we haven't even really had much attendance here, so that might just be it. And like you said, they might just not be seeing. Even on they might not be seeing the announcements and whatnot meetings.
Yeah.
So maybe if we reach out to them. So yeah, if you guys can think of anybody that that you think might have something cool, let the board or ops know, and we'll reach out to them and see if they wanna even if they just want to showcase something, but volunteer would be better. But yeah, even showcase something. We need stuff to put on our table. So. So we were looking for things to get made. We still are, because we still got a decent amount of time, like 3 weeks, I think. So we're still offering money to help people with their project as long as they want to show it off and make it. We haven't had very many people reach out yet. We had a couple that we're still talking about, but not very many at all. So anybody who's willing to make a project, again, it doesn't have to be original. You can find something online that's cool, like a scrolling LED screen, or it doesn't really matter. It's just let us know what funding you need for it, and we'll try and help you. The idea was that we're going to provide up to $500 for like across the board, so that way, if yours is 50, somebody else's might need 100 or something like that. We just need to know. So even if your stuff is over 500, but you're planning on doing it anyway, you just want some extra funds, let us know. We just need stuff presented at Maker Fair. We wanted to get things that were interactive. I have a bunch of ideas of things I found on Adafruit or Make.com or things like that. So if you have an idea, or if you don't have an idea but you want to make something, let me know. I can even give you the idea, and we'll fund it. All you got to do is make it and make sure it's ready for me. That's it.
I could make another one of the lights for the Power Wheels racetrack, and you guys put that inside and pick up the same radio signals as
Nice.
the one outside.
That'd be cool.
They're not that expensive. I can make another one
Nice. Let me know about that.
if you want.
We'll talk about that. That sounds cool. So the other new stuff about Maker Faire is last year we were able to give away a laser and a CNC, and that was from SandSmart. It was the Genmitsu branded stuff. I guess SandSmart is the brand, Genmitsu may be the model. I don't know. But anyway, they gave Maker FX 2 more lasers for us to give away at Maker Faire. They said that we are able to keep one if we want to. We could give them both away. One's a small, kind of a small one, and one's a little bit bigger. I don't have the model numbers here handy, but I might have one of you guys, if you guys remember which ones it is. But basically, my idea is we give away the big one as a raffle, like we did last year. All they got to do is fill out the form. Hopefully we'll have better internet. I have an idea on that too. But they'll fill out the form online, submit it. It basically allows us to use their email for the newsletter as well. And then they can come pick it up here after Maker Faire, or they have to be at Maker Faire to pick it up the last day. Anyway, the other one is a smaller unit that's really good for demos. It's even got the protective screen around it, so it could be used at as a display item at places like Maker Faire. So I think we should have that one there and running, and that's the one that we hang on to while we raffle off the other one. And then that way also, because it's small, it can be stored here, because we don't have much storage, and we already got 2 really big lasers. We don't really need a big laser. It's not super big, but it's a decent size. So, but anyway, just keep an eye out for that. Again, that would be if you're a volunteer at Maker Faire, that'd be something you'd easily use to talk about. We're gonna have signs up, just say, hey, by the way, scan this QR code, fill out the form, and a laser. So yeah, easy. One thing I keep forgetting about when I talk about the membership, or I mean the volunteer to Maker Faire, is that it gives you a free pass to Maker Faire as well. So while we need you there for a few hours to help us run the booth, it also gives you the ability to walk around and see all the cool stuff for free. So just keep that in mind. If you want to help us for a few hours, you get a free pass. So, but we need to know ahead of time how many people. We need to know as soon as possible. One thing we had thought about was maybe ordering shirts as well. That's why on the form there's a shirt size thing on there. Whether that happens or not, I can't guarantee, but you will get a pass. But we have to know ahead of time so that we can tell them how many passes we need.
You could even technically help volunteer on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, either through FamiLAB or through Maker Faire, and still get a free day.
Nice. Okay.
Because like we've got setup days, we start on Wednesday, and there's always help needed. There's so much to do. So if you want to attend on Saturday and you volunteer on Thursday, you can do that too.
Yeah.
I don't know about how much you guys need help with, but for the regular fair.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's not a lot of work when I say a lot. It's just we need bodies there to cover it. Yeah, that's really it. All right. So moving on from Maker Faire, signage. We're working with Steve M on the main sign up top above the overhang. He did have some ideas, but he's been MIA lately. Did you get to connect with him or not? Okay, so we're going to reconnect with him on that. And then we also had the contest for the door art. That's obviously neither one is going to be done before Maker Faire, unless we really bust ass on probably nice, because especially a light up sign if we're going to have an after party. So Even if somebody can think of a temporary thing that maybe we can put in the window, let us know, because that would be fantastic. But keep an eye out for that. I mean, there was the contest for the window art, would yield you a free month, I think, and then be able to show off something you designed. It's going to be on our front windows for a good amount of time. So if you have any questions about those, let me or Justin know, and we can get with you on that. Kind of tell you what the required room that has a lot of the information in it. If you scroll through it, I think it was like graphics for Windows or something like that.
Yep.
I did confirm with my print shop person, if we want to printed thing, that they can do that.
Nice.
So we can get a really good deal on the actual printing of that.
That'd be awesome.
They're the same ones who made all of our banners.
Awesome. Okay. All right, moving on. Outreach is still a monthly meeting at this point. We really don't have very many people showing up to it. So if you have any want to expand FamiLAB in any way, outreach is going to be the way to do it, because that's what we need to do to grow, basically. Outreach is going to be things like where we talk about putting flyers at apartment complexes, and talking to places like Rockler and Woodcraft. Thank you. And then, other ideas, grants, things like that. That's all talked about in the outreach meeting. We need more people to help with it. In fact, one of the things we're going to do, speaking of the apartment complex thing, is that we have flyers, and we're asking for volunteers we're going to pick a Saturday, and we're asking for volunteers where we're going to just meet up here, distribute some flyers to everybody. They're going to go out. We have a list of apartment complexes around that one of our members had already made for us, and we're going to take those to those apartment complexes and see if we're not putting them on cars or doors or anything like that. We're going to go ask the managers or whatever there if they can either give them out to new apartment people, or if they have a poster board that they can put it on or something like that. And then we're going to provide food and drink afterwards. So we're going to go out, do it, meet back up, food and drink. We're not sure necessarily how, like if we're going to meet somewhere. I think if there's only a couple of us, we might just go meet somewhere. But if we could get a good amount of people, excuse to have a party. We'll buy food, drink, grill it if we want, or just prepared food, whatever works. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. What is the status on that? Were we going to pick a day?
Yeah, we're gonna pick it. I think just trying to get schedules, because we're getting into the year, and Maker Faire is gonna make it a little bit more difficult, but
Yeah.
probably after Maker Faire at this point,
Okay.
before the holidays kind of thing. Also thinking that people would know they exist. Maybe they're thinking of New Year's resolutions of doing things.
Yeah.
So mid-December probably.
Okay. So yeah, just keep an eye out for that. Again, great
Eileen's got a
excuse
question.
for a party. Go ahead, Eileen.
Has there been any more discussion on like an annual membership rate?
Um,
You're going to do advertising around Christmas time, that it could potentially be a Christmas gift if there's an annual discounted.
right now, the board decided not to do it because the logistics behind it are just too much. Tracking those is going to be a little bit harder. And then we run into issues of like, what happens if the person wants to cancel? Are we going to give a refund? What happens if the lab has to shut down because there's another COVID? Things like that. Those are all things that we would have to make sure we have solid policies in place first. And I know it's been requested a few times and we talked about it a few times, but one of the bottom lines is until the board can get more help, we can't add anything more to our plate. And that's something that would be huge to add to our plate. So as of right now, we're not gonna proceed with that, but I don't see it being impossible for the future. So we can always bring it up again, but right now, no. Going on that though, I'm gonna skip the hurricanes thing for a minute. Going on that, just to go with that, we are increasing the cost of the membership dues at 75 for everybody. New members have been getting 75 for a while now. Grandfathered people have had a range, small range, but it's a range. Most under 50 or at 50. But as of January 1st, everybody's going to be up to 75 across the board. Again, FamiLAB is about sharing the knowledge and giving the access to people. So if you have any issues with your membership going up above $50 or above what you currently pay, please let us know, and we can decide if we need to make an exception for you or not. There's a lot of room for exception in there because we don't want to lose a bunch of members just because we're trying to make things across the board, but at the same time we need to increase and make it more fair and whatnot. But I know there's a lot of people that are on like set incomes and things like that. Those kinds of things we can account for. So please make sure and let us know before it increases. That will make things a lot easier, so we can put you on a list not to increase yours. Otherwise, again, starting January 1st, or starting your January subscription, it will be $75. Hurricanes and storms. Last year's storms have had no impact to the buildings. Just we have minor leaks that we had before that the landlord is already aware of. We just got circle back with him. I'll circle back with him and tell him it's still happening. Sometimes they're kind of hard to track down, especially when they're real small like that in a warehouse building. So yeah, I mean, I don't think we had any water ingress. We think maybe a little bit came kind of in the rolling door, but not enough to even get to anything. So so far so good. Hopefully our storms are over for this year. But not even
Knock on barnacle board.
yeah. So yeah, that's just keep an eye out though. When storms do come, we have to close the lab down. The policy has been remade for this, lab. Whatnot, we're going to make it more available. But just bottom line is, it's not a sanctuary. It's not a place to hunker down. It's a business. So if schools or roads or counties close, we close as well. And yeah, we'll let you know. And Slack is our #1 communication. That's where we're going to let you know. I've been trying to post them on Facebook as well.
I've seen them on Facebook.
I keep forgetting to post when we reopen them. So we should probably do that. But yeah, as Slack being our #1, that's where the focus was. All right, so moving on, sponsors, we still want to thank the most recent ones, Elgu, Wham Bam, and Rebel Point. Hoping to get more soon, especially after Maker Faire goes around. Noticed like Wham Bam reached out to us at Maker Faire, so we may just get more just through that. But we do plan to reach out to more of them soon. Again, it's board is pretty much running 99% of this. So if we can get more help with ops and whatnot, if you have any way you want to help, this could be one of the things to have you reach out to places. But there's a certain set of rules that you have to follow legally for us to ask for sponsors. So nobody just go reach out and ask everybody. Let us know, and we can assign you to do that, and we can show you what does need to be done in order to do that. Social media, we still need, as always, we need more posts to social media. So any of the stuff, I saw a couple things posted, and I made this recently, I believe. So the Slack channel, I made this. You make something, post in there, even if you make it at home. You're still part of the Maker community. It's still something we can show off. Just give us a little blurb about it, about what it is or whatnot, maybe how you made it, something like that. If you want to be answering questions from social media, give us some kind of, if you're on Facebook, give us your, we can tag you or give you access to that post or something like that, so that you can answer those questions. Because you notice a lot of times when especially if we're just posting the picture and not anything about it, we get a bunch of questions, and the admins Facebook can't answer it, so they just go and answer it, and it kind of doesn't look great. So yeah, at least give us a little description about it so that we can explain what it is. Before we get to open discussion, actually, we'll just do open discussion now. So anybody want to talk about anything, show off anything they made? Any new news? I have power again. That's new.
But not internet.
Well, I got Starlink, but I paid for the cheapest one, so I'm at 30 gig right now, and I only get 50. So hoping I can before tomorrow morning. I don't reach
It
it.
goes quick.
Yeah,
Turn off your Plex servers.
yeah, the Plex server.
No streaming Netflix tonight.
Yeah, Brenda likes to put on YouTube videos and fall asleep to them, and they keep playing on her phone.
Don't do that.
It's too late.
Yeah.
That's how I got the 30 in 3 days. But yeah, okay. So
my big project might open Memorial Day.
I didn't see that.
Big work project.
Yeah.
Are you allowed or able to talk about it, or do you want to talk about it?
It's all just rumors. I don't even know for sure. It's just rumored now. It's a official rumor because it was said on Twitter, but not by the official accounts.
Those that don't know,
I mean,
he's working at Epic Universe.
I'm working on one of the attractions at Epic Universe, and so is Matt.
I don't know what Epic Universe is.
Or you were.
New Universal. A whole new theme park?
Yeah.
Yeah. See how
Yes. It's
south.
bigger.
It's like
theme parks are too rich for mine.
It's
my
bigger.
wallet.
It's bigger than all 3 of the current parks combined.
Wow. Is it further south? I ain't going.
Well, it's not.
It's
All that stuff's for the south.
It's 3 minutes further south than the current park. It's on the other side
Right,
of
which I
Perkins.
still get to go to.
3 minutes.
You still have to park at the same park. They
It's
bust you
South
over.
Millennial Mall.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
It's an hour too far because I don't go to the other ones either.
It's gonna be cool.
So,
Some might say it's gonna be epic.
oh,
It's
in
not.
that case, I may.
It's not magic. It's real.
Anyway,
Congrats on that. Congratulations on that.
yeah.
It's gonna be exciting.
We have time back in June. You're saying?
Well, I got put on 3 other projects this week, so maybe not. We'll see.
The Japan one?
I can't tell you about anything.
Can you go?
No, maybe Singapore.
Ooh.
All right. So upcoming events, Woodworking Learn With Me, October 23rd. Art Hangout is November 1st. 3D Print Hangout is November 4th. Stitch-In is every Wednesday at 1:30. Outreach meeting, first Thursday at 7 p.m. Social night every Tuesday at 7:30-ish. You can change that ish, that's silly. Board meetings, second Monday at 8 p.m. Open house, second Tuesday at 8 p.m. and fourth Saturday at 1 p.m. Monthly membership meeting, third Tuesday at 8 p.m. We do have, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, yeah.
Do you have a new potential member, or is he a
New member.
new member?
Yeah, I got jumped in today, so. Hi, one of the apartment dwellers that was mentioned earlier. I was
Nice.
looking up spaces not too long ago. I'd argue the hardest part was just trying to get a hold of someone, and I should have just followed the instructions and joined the Slack. Who would have thought? As soon as I messaged someone on there, it was immediate, so that was pretty good. Super excited for the flyers, sponsorship opportunities. Daniel, you'll definitely see me around here, kind of leaning into the woodworking side of it, and here to learn. So super excited.
Very cool. Thanks,
Time
Andy.
to have it.
You're welcome.
All right.
Update. I have an update.
Go ahead.
So Diane's going to be in doing Stitch-In for the next, without me for the next 2 weeks. I'm traveling to Guatemala on a volunteerism trip to a bottle school. The people who pack plastic into the plastic bottles and then use those bottles to insulate the walls of schools in Guatemala. So I'm getting to go and participate with that and meet those folks. And so I'll be away for a little bit. But Diane now joined and has a key, and I'm sorry that she's elder and doesn't really drive at night. So she's not come to introduce herself at this meeting. And she's not really tech savvy. So as far as coming to the meeting virtually, but I sort of help communicate between her and I, any news and information from the lab. So, but she is the primary sewing teacher, and then I'm handling like what we're calling basically crop and swap, which is the AccuCut and then the fabric cut, and we're making the freezer pop cozies or pop socks for our interactive part of the buddy booth that the Stitch In is doing next to or alongside or across from or somewhere nearby FamiLAB's booth, hopefully at Maker Faire. So
I can take a peek at the map and kind of
that'd be great. Yeah.
get an idea of the rough layout of our area soon.
I'm excited about volunteering the day early if that means I get to load in early because I'm trying to set up because the elders don't really I'm hauling in all the stuff for Stitch In and then hauling all the stuff in for Opportunity.
Yep.
So if I could do early, I'll be happy to be there on a Friday night to do some
Friday is a much better load-in day.
Yeah.
If you have a lot of stuff, you
Yeah.
could bring it on Thursday, but the booths aren't generally marked out.
I got it.
Like really end of day Thursday
Okay.
or midday Friday, depending on how many volunteers we have. But
Yeah. I just have a little van, so I just run back and forth. But I mean, whenever you're ready, if I could pile stuff in a corner, I'll be cool with it.
yeah, we get access to the buildings on Thursday.
Awesome.
We technically get them Wednesday, but they're not locked Wednesday night.
Got it.
But from Thursday on, they're ours.
Perfect. Yeah, so just keep me posted on that. That'd be great. But yeah, Diane will be there to help work the booth and teach sewing and do all that stuff, but she depends on us to be helpful with the hauling and stuff.
Does she have a badge for her stitching stuff at
Yes.
FamiLAB?
Yeah, she just got
One thing for Maker Faire, if you've got a lot of things to plug in, please bring your own power strips. Just because they're limited at the fairgrounds, and make sure you put your name on them or FamiLab's name on them.
okay. Yeah, we carry them with us for sewing anyway, so we use them. You know.
Yeah, well, I steal some for racing too.
No, well, then we might not have a couple.
We might only have two, actually.
Okay.
But no, like, well, yeah, we can. In the next couple weeks, I'm going to be putting all the stuff together I have to take for the power racing out, so we can, stage stuff between now and.
We don't have that much to plug in, and we can share. I usually buy longer cords with tighter, like square
Gotcha.
power strip, and a light 25 cord.
Usually every booth gets a quad box, so you get 4 physical outlets.
Those are nice.
That's kind of the general way things are set up.
That's probably more than enough for us. Awesomeness. Thank you.
Ben just messaged me. He said he was gonna come to the meeting if some stuff showed up. He wanted to show. He made some owls and put them in the glass case.
I'm gonna
Wow,
join
guys.
join the meeting again and show something.
So if you're looking to get the cheapest price on your car,
I am. My car insurance is a lot of money.
Do you guys have insurance?
Let me see if we can pull this up. Join. See if I can pull this up without actually showing everything on my phone at the same time. I'll show you some other cool things. One thing I made and one thing I did. Sorry, I'm looking.
No worries.
Nothing else to do.
Anybody else have anything? Who do we have on here? Just Flash man, are you still in Alaska? Is that where you are?
No, I just got back last week, like a day before the hurricane, actually.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, that worked out pretty well, actually. Yeah, so back in Florida now, but yeah, um, no longer catching fish, which is kind of a bummer. But at the same time, it's I'm back to working at the fabrication place that I'm at. So yeah, it's a pretty good deal. So,
Cool.
also DJing still on the weekends. My screen if you want.
It's working. So I'll share this picture with you. A friend of mine is trying to adapt one intake part on a junkyard car that he's working on to another intake part. And he's like, hey, with your Fusion 360 and 3D print skills, do you think that you could help me make iterative designs on this to figure out what will fit and what won't fit? And so we've been going back and forth on different design changes and getting the two flanges to match up and everything. Eventually, we're going to print this out of a carbon fiber nylon for actual use. But for now, we're doing ABS and ASA just because it's not actually doing anything right now other than sitting there as a mock-up piece for him to bolt together to make sure it works. But we've been working on this for like the last month or so, trying to make tweaks and changes here and there to get it working. That arrow is like, hey, bend it this way now. That's what that arrow means. So it'll be
So
cool.
not like a 90, you just got to do a little bit.
Yeah, so I did like a 15-degree bend on it. He's like, yeah, just a little bit. Make sure it's oriented this one way. And so that's what we did on that. And I'll show you the other thing in a second here.
Wouldn't that be a
Is that
good
a turbo?
for the scanner?
Is that grass?
Kind of, yeah.
It is grass in the engine.
If they had something already that you can scan and kind of modify, I guess you could scan like the different,
Where the two
yeah, where
ends.
where it connects and then.
So what I did is I took the two gaskets for the two different sides and just used calipers and measured them and then redrew them in Fusion and then did some extrusion to make it work. And then,
And everything else is tweaking.
yeah, it is twisted a little bit because of the way the bolt holes line up and the way you have to go to get a tool in to actually secure it.
Scanning would come in better if it was like there, but had a hole in it. And they
Or like
needed to
half of it
repair
was
it.
there or something.
Yeah, or half of it was there, then you could scan it. Because even if you scan those two sections, you would still have to do a couple measurements just to make sure everything's the right size. But you wouldn't have to do all the measurements though. So.
What kind of car was it?
It's a Nissan something or other. He didn't exactly tell me.
Of the junkyard variety.
Of course. Only the finest.
Listen, it's a project car.
They always are.
I mean, if that was the shot of the inside of the engine, there was grass there. So that's definitely.
I certainly hope it's a project.
It's a project car that he hasn't worked on in a while.
That's what most project cars are.
Yeah.
They're just bricks and large paperweights.
That's what all my projects are. I mean.
We don't actually finish them,
No.
right? We just collect.
No,
them.
that's correct. Yeah.
That's how you know you're gonna fit in a FamiLAB if you start a bunch of things and then you don't finish.
Trust me, I'm already bringing my portfolio.
So that's the other thing. I installed a weather sensor
Nice.
on the top of my pool enclosure. So it's, measures the wind speed. And I got it up just before Milton came through, but it was a little bit too low where I mounted it originally. And so all the wind speeds were super depressed. But it measured the rain, the lightning, and the pressure, and you could see the reverse direction of the wind. And what's cool is you can also publish this to like Weather Underground, and there's a couple other places that take community-provided weather station data from certain types of weather stations.
That's cool.
And what it actually does is that data feeds into a global model that then helps them better predict where the storms are, how they move, how they behave, and all that. They use all of that data in aggregate from the thousands of sensors as part of the forecasting tools they have.
That's cool.
Which is really neat. So, yeah, this is after the storm. This is after I moved it up. It was essentially sunk all the way level with the top of the pool enclosure before.
So what happens with that? Like that's not, would they accept that data from you? And the data, I mean, you had it, when you had it low, it wasn't collecting the right data, right? For the wind data at least.
So what they're more concerned with when they're collecting data is temperature and barometric pressure. and rain.
Oh,
And that data, because there are many people who just put them up, but you also have to turn them north so that the wind direction is correct. There are many people who don't. And so the biggest data they use is the barometric pressure, because that tells them a lot more than wind direction. Because we've got really good sensors at like the Orlando airport that's not far from my house, which tells them really good wind speed and wind direction, versus they don't necessarily know microclimates of barometric pressure in specific areas all the time.
Yeah,
So it's really neat, especially like as a big storm is passing over, they can say, okay, well, this big storm passed over, and when this part of the storm passed over this area, we noticed these pressure changes, and it can all feed back into their prediction model. And there are thousands of people who have these, around the country of that model and different ones that are just.
That's just like a box model. It's nothing custom.
No, I mean, the only thing custom was me installing it on my, pool enclosure with a couple pieces of scrap PVC and some, extra hardware.
Cool.
Sorry, I always wanted to share other things.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Neat things.
Anybody else before we conclude the meeting? All right, we'll go ahead and conclude it. 8:54. Yeah, thanks for coming, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.